Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kwame. Today's video is going to be a really quick one. I've spoken to a lot of people within the past few weeks. Okay, most people wants to travel here, but when I tell them to go through the proper channel, they say, why can't I just help them look for an employer and they'll just apply and the employer will sponsor them to come and live and work here? It doesn't work that way, guys. So in today's video, I'm going to address two things. One is you getting your skills assessment done. The other one is also you getting your IELTS done. I feel most people fall short when it comes to getting these two requirements done right. And before I also forget, traveling overseas is not cheap, guys. Okay, it's not cheap, it's time consuming. You have to go through a lot of paperwork, and that's why I, Kwame Chumesi, I always try and create detailed videos. I always try and share more information so you guys can do it yourself, because the process is very tedious and it's not easy. And when I tell people, oh Charlie, you have to go get your IELTS, they'll be like, this is too expensive or I cannot afford it. Then why do you want to travel? If I tell people, hey, you have to go get your skills assessment done, they'll be like, but the fees is too much, I cannot afford it. Why don't I just look for an employer to sponsor me? I was like, no, it doesn't work that way. You need to prove to the employer that the sort of skill sets you have back in your home country is equivalent to the Australian standard. You also need to prove to the employer that you'll be able to speak fluently in English when you come and live and work in Australia. So if you are ready to embark on this journey, then make sure you are mentally ready. You also have time to go through the process, and you also have a bit of money to spend on the process. Before we go ahead with this video, please know that I'm not a registered migration agent, so please use any information or advice in this video as general advice only. I'll see you guys on the other side. So if you are thinking of migrating to Australia for work purposes, so you're thinking of coming to work here temporary, or you're thinking of coming to work here permanently, then please watch this video very carefully, because I feel like most people are missing the point, or most people are just skipping the steps. Okay, if you're thinking of coming or migrating to Australia, please follow this checklist. Okay, so the number one on the list is skills occupation list. I've been talking about this list for a very long time now. So if you're thinking of coming here, make sure the sort of skill sets or occupation you have back in your home country is listed on the skills occupation list. If that is listed, then that is a check. Now, the step number two is you need to make sure you have the necessary qualification and also work experience. Okay, if you have that, then check. The next on the list is skills assessment. You need to make sure you have your skills assessment done, and if you put through your skills assessment through the right skills assessment body and you get a positive skill assessment, then check. Then the next is your English language requirements. Yes, Australia is an English speaking country, so if you are thinking of migrating, or if you're thinking of coming to work in Australia, then yes, make sure you search for the IELTS, and this will prove that yes, you are able to work or you're able to speak English fluently. So if you get that done, then check. Then the next step is you going to look for an employer to sponsor you, or if you're under the age of 45, you go through the skills select program. So this basically means you are expressing your interest, okay, to either a state in Australia or to either the whole of Australia. And if you are lucky enough to get an invitation, you apply for your visa, then you migrate to Australia by yourself or with your family. So these are the steps. I've been talking about this for some time now. So if you are confused in regards to the process, then this is the checklist. In today's video, I'm only going to focus on two. Okay, I feel most people get stuck at this stage. Okay, so how do you go through the skills assessment? Guys, we have a lot of skills assessing bodies in Australia. So every occupation has their own body, okay, that you have to basically go through to get your positive skills assessment. So what you have to do is, of course, check on the occupation list, and once you check there, it's going to have your occupation listed. It's also going to have the skills assessing authority that you can go through to get your skills assessment done. So to make this easier, let's meet Kweku. Okay, so Kweku is from Ghana. He's a carpenter. He's got a qualification to prove this. He also have a lot of work experience, and he now wants to get his skills assessment done, okay, as a carpenter. So he can use that to look for an employer or to go through the skills select program, so you can get an invitation to come and work in Australia. So what will Kweku do? So when it comes to most trades in Australia, we have the TRA, Trades Recognition Australia. They do most of the skill assessment for what do you call it, trades people. We also have the Vet Access. So the Vet Access basically does most skills assessments for professional workers and also most trades workers. But what I've noticed is most times the TRA do not offer skill assessment for people living offshore. So Kweku's best bet is to use Vet Access. So how can Kweku go through Vet Access to get his skill assessment done? Let me demonstrate. Okay guys, so I'm on the Vet Access website. So when you come on the first homepage, Kweku can basically just type in carpenter here, or on the menu, on the website menu, we have check occupations. So Kweku will just have to click here, check occupation, and go all the way to the bottom. So when you come here, we have check your occupation. What Kweku can do is basically type in carpenter here. So carpenter, and Kweku will just go search. Okay, so when you go search, it's going to bring out 2 occupations. So we have the carpenter NZ scope 331212, and we have the carpenter and joiner. Kweku is only a carpenter. Okay, so Kweku will just click on learn more, and voila, when you come here, there are tons and tons of information here to help Kweku out. So again, carpenter, the fees and charges are here. And yes guys, getting your skill assessment done in Australia is not free. You have to pay for it. Okay, so Kweku can check the fees and charges here. Kweku can also click here to understand assessment process. Kweku can also view the current processing time. So this will basically show Kweku how long it's going to take for Vet Access to get his skills assessment outcome. This is brilliant. So when you come here, they have the download fact sheet. Okay, this will basically have all the information in regards to the sort of documents and also the process to take, okay, in regards to you getting your skills assessment done as a carpenter with Vet Access. When you come down here, there's tons and tons of information. So how will I be assessed? They've got first stage and second stage, and they have all the information here. When we come down here to how to apply, okay, so they've got step 1, check your eligibility, step 2, understand the assessment process, step 3, step 4, and step 5. So if you know what you're doing, you can basically go start an application. And before you apply, of course, it's going to give you all the details. Okay, and once you're confident, you go apply now. Again, check your occupation, fees, and supporting documents. You can either do this yourself or you can use an agent to do it for you. And again guys, if you are very confident you can do this yourself, you don't need to pay any agency. But if you are not confident and you need the assistance of an agency to help you to, trust me, there's a lot of paperwork involved, and you using an agency is not cheap. Okay, that's why I basically most times create these videos so you guys know where to look for the information and also how to proceed and do the assessment yourself. But in case you need help, an agency can help you, and again, it's not cheap. And when we come back here to see download fact sheet, okay, so when you download it, trust me, it's got every information you will need to get your skills assessment done. So let's say if you're watching me now, you're not a carpenter and you want to basically get your skills assessment done. If you check Vet Access and your skills is not, your occupation is not listed there, of course, come back to the skills occupation list. So for example, let's say if you are a nurse, you go search, and of course, when you come down here, it's going to say NMAC, okay? Mothercraft Nurse 2. When you come here, it's going to say Vet Access. I hope this is clear. Let's move on. Yeah, so guys, in case something is not clear, just drop it down in the comment section, and when I get a chance, I'll reply you accordingly. Let's move on. Now let's look at the English language requirements. Okay, so the most popular one is the IELTS. So let's quickly do a deep dive. So one of the questions I get asked is, friends, do I need IELTS? Yes and no. Okay, if you want to go through the normal skills migration route or you want to look for an employer, then yes, IELTS is one of the main requirements. But if in case you don't want to sit for the IELTS and you are looking for an easy way, then you targeting the Dharma will be your best bet. But again, most people don't want to sit for the IELTS, so of course most people are going to target the DAMA. So of course there's going to be a lot of competition, okay, when it comes to you looking for an employer in the DAMA area. The advice I mostly give to people is, if you can go through the proper channel and get all the checklists done, then you'll be ahead of your competitor. Because most people contact me on a daily basis, and trust me, none of them are ready to sit for the IELTS. So if you are ready, this is going to prove to your employer that yes, you've done all the necessary requirements and you are ready to migrate to Australia. I hope this makes sense. Now, what sort of IELTS do you need to get? Most people get confused here. So when you are sitting for the IELTS, we have two types. We have the IELTS Academics and we have the IELTS General. Okay, so if the IELTS Academics is basically for people that wants to come and study in Australia. Yeah, so if you are thinking of coming to study here, then you have to take the IELTS Academics. But if you are only coming here to work, okay, you are coming here like through like a skilled migration route, or you are looking for an employer sponsorship job in Australia, then you need to take the IELTS General. That's basically the difference. So how do you know what sort of score you need? Okay, so I've got a link here. Okay, so when we head on the British Council IELTS website, okay, to know the sort of scores you need, I'm going to leave this link in the description section below. And we are targeting Australia. So here you go, minimum IELTS score requirements for Australia. So when you click on here, we have student visas here, we have the work visa here. Okay, so for the work visa, there are two main types of work visas for Australia: permanent and temporary. So if you are looking at targeting the regional areas, so regional visas, you would need IELTS score of at least 6, okay, in all the 4 components. So when I say 4 components, when it comes to the IELTS exams, we have the listening, reading, writing, and speaking. You need at least band 6 in all the components, which is the listening, reading, writing, and speaking. If you are looking at the skilled migration 2, you also need at least band 6. For temporary work visas, so temporary work visas like the DAMA or like the 482 and the rest, you need a score of 5. Okay, so IELTS overall score of 5 with a score of at least 4.5 in each of the sections. So listening, reading, writing, speaking, you need overall score of 5 and nothing less than 4.5 in each of the components. This is very, very achievable, guys. And again, you'll be sitting for the IELTS General, not the academics. Okay, so the IELTS General is very easy as compared to the academics. Again, I'll leave this link in the description section below, and let me know if you guys have any questions. And there you go, guys. Okay, so getting your skill assessment done and so getting your IELTS done shouldn't be an issue. In case you still need help with the process, I'm going to leave my email on the screen now. Please feel free to email me and I'll take you through the process. My name is Kwame. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.